Do you know what beef is? Do you know what beef is? Ask yourself. Do you know what beef is?
All right, the meat and potato. All right, so this is Guard Your Girl Boxing Radio. It's your man, Coltrane. Sleeps on the line. He's a little under the weather right now. Shout out to it being 70 degrees, and it's going to be 20 degrees on Thursday in the lovely Illinois.
Actually, why I have a winter coat on.
What did you say? A winter coat on? Oh, yeah. I'm stupid?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's stupid.
This was about 20 years ago. Now, remember we told you, Coltrane Sleep lived next door to each other. So it's one of these type of days. You know, it's supposed to be cold, but it's hot. Coltrane looks at me. I have on a down jacket.
You had a Woolrich. On.
A Woolrich down jacket on. He said, why do you have that big coat on? He said, because I'm stupid. I said, because I'm stupid. I refuse to get sick.
Yeah, like, I don't think people that live on the East Coast understand how our weather works. It's like, it gets extremely cold here, like 20 degrees, 30, and we'll have days like this. We're in pretty much in December, and it's 70 degrees outside. So people get sick because your immune system don't know what the hell is going on. But that's our meteorologist report for the day. So, Miguel Cotto and Antonio Margarito, we here, part 2, 2008, the last time it jumped off. Y'all know what happened. Margarito trashes Cotto. Margarito gets trashed twice after that. Cotto looks like a deer in headlights. Margarito get caught with some stuff called plaster of Paris.
The first person
Margarito gets his eyes broke. Was Rada.
Rada the
Guard the Girl Boxing. Rada was the first person. Right. Sleep's right about that. He was the first person. Go check the tapes. He was the first person to report. He was in Lowe's or Home Depot.
Yep. He said it's called plaster of Paris.
It's called hardcore reporting, by the way. So that's all that took place since 2008. So now we're in 2011.
That was such a great time for boxing, too, 2008.
It was real fun. It was a really good time. I got a feeling we get ready to give back. I like what boxing is doing. It's been real. Like I was telling them earlier in the show, you remember this weekend they never touched this weekend in the sport. This was like a hiatus weekend. Early December they would come back, and then they would go on another hiatus to mid-January. But we're booked from now until the end of the year, so it's kind of good, man, that they're trying to rebuild the sport with some younger fighters. Like, even though, we was kind of critiquing the younger guys, I'm happy that they're trying to at least preserve the sport and keep building it. But anyhow, back to the meat and potatoes. Miguel Cotto, Margarito, the orbital bone ain't going to hold this fight up. Shout out to Manny Pacquiao. Margarito's fighting him. Is in New York. I don't know what's going to happen, Sleep. You know what we said in the first fight, but this eye thing, man, it's a wild card, man.
That's the elephant in the room, the eye. And it's
the eye. The eye in the sky.
Yeah, the orbital.
The orbital.
Orbital bone. That's the elephant.
That's a nice track for a song. The orbital bone.
Yeah. See, the thing is this with Margarito. First of all, Margarito, he doesn't have artificial swag. He has legitimate swag.
He's
legit.
He
doesn't even try.
No.
You know what I'm saying? And we had the pleasure of meeting him before. We couldn't really conversate.
How did that work?
Just a lot
he
of
understood
smiling.
himself.
A lot of smiling, yeah. That was actually after he pummeled
Kermit Cintron.
Yeah.
Get up.
Yeah.
Get up. When he told him to get up after he knocked him down.
Yeah, that's before Cintron, Oh, that's Patron. I'm thinking of
Patron.
Yeah, that's flavor. But yeah. No, that was after that fight. So he was real gracious and happy. But the thing about Margarito is, anybody who knows about his fight game is predicated with the ability to take punishment. Like, I recently looked at the part 1, and I forgot forgot how brutal and how gangster
hardcore
was. Like, this guy used to take full-fledged shots. Like, they always show that preview for the fight where, Cotto takes a step back and hits him with two straight, like a left and a right down the pipe. And Margarito used to eat these punches and just smile back at you. And that was his whole thing, breaking your will. He'll take whatever you have, break your will, go to your body. Now, if the orbital bone wasn't in the picture, and I'm still saying, like, I think Margarito, I'm saying this for the record, plaster of Paris, whether it was there or not, whatever was in his gloves, I still have him beating Cotto in that first fight, just from, the war of attrition of how it would break down in 12 rounds. I still honestly think he breaks him down in that fight and wins it the same way I called it, by the way. I called it the round. We detailed that fight to the T. If I was a betting man, I would have made a lot of money that night. But he took a lot of punishment to get to that round, to get to that breakdown mode. Now, will his face hold up? Because it's not like this guy has defense. He doesn't move his head. He never will. And Cotto hits hard enough to re-break that bone. If it swells, if that eye swells, they're going to stop the fight, and we're not going to get the climax.
And they're in New York. Let's just keep in mind that they are in New York.
They're going to stop it.
Right. That's something like we can't. I know people out there, and listen, I'm with those people. I think stylistically, Margarito's all wrong for Cotto. I don't care what he got in his gloves or what he don't have in his glove, because I know what was in his chin, which is just bone, skin, and blood. And like Sleep said, he just walked through Cotto punches, and not only did he walk the Cotto punches, this is a very important fact that he did in this fight. He jogged towards Cotto, and the jogging was all psychological, because if you're doing what like Sleep just said, hitting people with 2, 3, 4-piece combos, and they continue to jog towards you, that messes with you mentally. And I kind of see the same fight playing out. Cotto outboxing, Margarito walking him down. The question is, how much can he take this fight? That's the $1 million question.
I see the eye swelling in round 3. I see a little mouse. I see a little mouse in round 3. I see, and I'm gonna just be real. I think the fight gets stopped and Cotto's gonna win simply because his eye is going to swell. I think his eye is going to swell.
That messed my whole prediction up. That messed everything up, because I was originally Margarito 5th round stoppage. I thought Cotto will would get broke early in this fight, and he would walk Cotto down and knock you. It'd pretty much be a technical stoppage from the beating, because I think Cotto, once he realized he can't move him, then the fetus comes out. But the eye factor, how messed up is this eye? I mean, this stuff sounds, we don't know, because we haven't seen him fight since this eye situation.
And all I know
Did he fight ever since then? I can't remember.
No, he hasn't. No, he hasn't.
That bothers me a little bit.
He had to have 2 surgeries.
See, you can't, no.
Yeah.
When was the last time he fought? When he fought Pacquiao?
Yeah, and he had 2 surgeries since then.
Right.
Now, the thing is, and what people got to take into consideration, they destroyed each other in that first fight. Neither one of them were the same fighter. They destroyed each other.
Applesauce.
They destroyed each other. So Cotto gets hit a lot more. Margarito been getting hit, but now he's that truck you always wanted. That was in a flood. You know what I'm saying?
Flood damage.
It was water damage. You know what I'm saying?
They actually had a car like that. That's not funny.
So it has damage. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's a tough truck, but it's still damaged. It has electrical problems.
Right.
When
it rains, water pours in.
Yeah, the windows don't go all the way up. Little stuff like that. You know what I mean? So there's a lot of damage on both ends of the spectrum. But,
so you think it's going to be a stoppage, though?
And fans, understand me. You take the orbital out of play, I think the will of Margarito once again destroys Cotto, because I think Cotto doesn't have the defense that he had back in 2008. He gets hit a lot more. He's with, he's been
he's a shell. He's a shell.
He's been too many trainers, but he can move enough
Yeah, but survival mode against Margarito is not like survival mode against Yuri Foreman or Joshua Clottey.
Yeah, and look, don't get me wrong, Margarito's not going to want the fight stopped. He's going to still be working.
No, the doctor's going to have to stop the fight. You already know that.
They're going to stop the fight. They're going to stop the fight because his eye, I think, is going to swell. And I don't even think he might even be badly hurt. I think they're going to be so paranoid about this whole situation. That's why I think the propaganda is put out there, like them not giving him the license to the last minute and all that. It's just to sell the story. As soon as it swells, they can rob him.
He's out, and Cotto gets win back, and justice is served from the hand wraps.
Exactly.
And life goes on.
And I got a feeling that eye is going to start swelling very early. Like very early. It's going to be like second, third round. You're going to see a little mouse, and it's going to swell up like a balloon. And that's just what I see. I don't think Cotto's going to be winning. And Cotto's going to win the early rounds, but it's going to be the same thing. Margarito's not going to care about his eye. He's just going to be looking for the end game.
I know.
They're not going to allow him to make it there.
I know Garcia is his trainer, who I like. I think he's like one of the coolest dudes in the sports right now, boxing aside. I know he said they've been working on training with his eye. I mean, it's one thing having headgear on and not having headgear on. So the eye can't really be tested like the. You know what I'm saying? Like I know they're saying that. I know.
On the table. They're not messing with their eye.
I know. I know that. Yeah, I know.
How do you train that? How do you actually punch the eye?
Yeah, I know. That's the thing. I mean, I guess they saying it because they got to say it like he's prepared to go. The eye is not a problem.
They're selling that to get that license. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, no doubt about it. But if Cotto, but see the thing about it is, how much do Cotto got left? How much can he get out the way? I mean, he was able to get out the way a little bit, but I just can't. I can't like lose sight of the fact that as he gets out the way, he gets found with punches. He was hit at the later end of those exchanges. But again, if he's able to find Margarito's eye, and if it's not fully prepared or never might be prepared to get in the fight again, I mean, it's going to tell in this fight right here. And I think you're right.
I'm going to tell you this, and I don't want to hedge against myself and give y'all two predictions, but if the eye holds up, this is going to be the closest. This is going to be a fight that I'm going to be severely concerned about Cotto's health at the end.
Yeah. Well, I told you what I.
The eye doesn't swell, and this is the fight that I think will retire him, hopefully, because I think the beating he's going to take is going to be so severe. If Margarito is able to absorb the type of punishment that he used to absorb, I just think this is going to be like a bad fight physically for Cotto.
And make no mistake about it. I just want people to realize something like, this is no knock on Cotto or Margarito's career. We're just strictly on facts. That fight, unless you was a blind man or just naive, if you can't realize that fight took years and years off of both of those men, and not to mention after that, this Cotto got beat to a pulp. I mean, when I say that, I mean that literally. And then Margarito took a hell of a beating too. Then after that, like what people forget, he got the living daylights beat out of him after that.
Cotto took a beating from Pacquiao too.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. I totally forgot about the Pacquiao fight because I'm only going with Clottey and Foreman. I totally forgot about that. Yeah. And he's another one that took a beating. Remember, it took them a while to get rid of him out of there in that fight. They both stayed in there long with Pacquiao, both of them. Coming off those type of fights that they came off of, Margarito, though, he got trashed. Not just beat. He was like annihilated. Like he got took to the back of the woodshed twice.
I'm sorry, fans. He just makes me laugh. I'm not laughing at the act of Margarito getting trashed. It's just the way he said it.
I mean, he got aired out twice.
Yeah.
Like, we forget what Mosley did to him and Pacquiao, back to back.
Yeah, Mosley.
Like, he looked like then in the second fight, now he showed flashes in the Pacquiao fight, showed flashes that he was still cool and he was back a little bit. But again, the fight went on too long. And what happened? The eye gets broke. The more and more you stay, the more and more you put years on your career, using the car analogy. put too many miles on that truck.
Right.
Continue to have problems, and then it just conks out on you.
Warranty runs out, then you try to
Yeah.
look at the warranty, and the warranty doesn't really. The damage is $2,000, and they only want to cover $500 of it after you spend all the money on the warranty. They don't want to give you a warranty because they try to say it's an exotic vehicle.
Shout out to those shysters. Yeah. So my prediction is I got to go with what I know more so than what might happen. I'm going to still get a nod to Margarito, knowing everything that I know, fight-wise. But I am going to hedge. And I never, you check all my predictions, I never hedge anything. But I never had a situation like this with this eye thing. But it is a possibility that this fight might get stopped. But it might be against Margarito's own doing. He might can't do nothing about it. See, in order for him to beat Cotto, he got to take a beating first. That's just kind of how it works. But I'm going to stick with my original prediction. I'm going to go with Margarito around 9th round stoppage. I think he holds up.
I have it a little sooner if the eye holds up. It's like around 7. Like the 7th
I mean, that's
round.
cool. Yeah, I can see that.
But Cotto's getting hit a lot earlier in this fight. A lot earlier. It's not like before when he was sharper. He was more nimble. 2008, he was slipping a lot of stuff in those early rounds that I think are landing fairly easy from the beginning. But this is a tough one because of that orbital.
I mean, that changes everything. I talked to like a few different people. They feel the same way. They're like, man, I had Margarito layup, slam dunking this. Now this changes things. I mean, it changes the outlook of everything. We'll see how it plays out. Still think it's going to be a good fight.
I'm going to go with, and people are going to be mad. I'm going to go with Cotto with a stoppage. It's going to be a stoppage because of the eye. I just thought about the arena where they're at.
That bothers me. Yep.
Yeah, the eye's going to swell. I just got a feeling it's going to swell and it's going to get stopped. Maybe
the doctor every 5 seconds. Every 5 seconds, the doctor coming to the ropes.
Yeah, it's going to be premature stoppage, but it's going to be.
That's it. That's it. You had enough. The little interpreter dude. You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
That's it. You had enough.
Well, by the way, Margarito's going to go crazy when they do it.
No. It might turn into a bowling galata. It might be a bowling galata situation in the ring.
If you guys are watching Boardwalk Empire and if you know how Jimmy's going to act in the next couple episodes,
Jimmy is about to lose his mind.
When they stop the fight with Margarito, he's going to lose it.
I only care about my health.
Check this, what's beef? Beef is when you need two cats to go to sleep. Beef is when your moms ain't safe up in the streets. Beef is when I see you, guaranteed to be in ICU. One more time, what's beef? Beef is when you make your enemies start your Jeep. Beef is when you roll no less than 30 deep. Beef is when I see you, guaranteed to be in ICU.